Let's be honest, building wealth sounds stressful, especially if you're starting from zero. You hear people talking about investing thousands, flipping homes, investing in businesses. And meanwhile, you're just like, bruh, I'm trying to make sure 1,000 is still in my bank account by next payday. This is part one of my series on how to turn zero into 100K in investments step by step. You're going to start from absolute zero, no cap, no fluff, just practical steps that can help you get from that zero mark to 100K and more. If you got hustle, a little bit of discipline, and some access to some Wi-Fi, well then you have an opportunity to do this. Let's start building. Now before we get started, I have to let you know, I am not a financial advisor. These videos are for educational and entertainment purposes only. If you're going to invest your money, make sure you do your own research and consult a legal professional before putting money into the market. Step one, reset your money mindset. Now, before we talk about money, it's important that we talk about your mindset. Most people stay broke because of how they think, not because of how much they actually make. Wealth isn't about income, it's about ownership. And you don't have to be rich in order to build wealth, but you do need to think like someone who is actually trying to build it. Let's replace I'm broke with I'm building. Try replacing I'll invest when I have more to I'll start with what I have now. When you implement these small yet crucial steps, your money and mindset will go further than you could even imagine. Most people stay stuck because they think that small money isn't worth investing. But that $25, $50 that you're going to spend on Uber Eats could actually buy you ownership into companies like Amazon, Apple, or even pieces of the S&P 500. Now, do you understand what that could actually turn into over 10 years, 20, 30 or more? It's small steps like these that impact your future the most in a positive financial way. All right, so now we have step two, and that's to find your first $100 to $250. So now it's time to talk about cash. We need to find your first seed money, that first $100, and I'm gonna give you a few ways to go ahead and get that in your pocket so we can start building momentum. So first, I'm gonna tell you, cut any subscription you can. I don't care if it's Hulu, Spotify, Apple Music, Netflix, I don't care. Pick one and cut it. That's gonna be your first 10 to 20 bucks right there. The second step I'm gonna tell you to do is go and to sell 3 or 4 things. Go look in that closet, find some old shoes or bags, ladies, purses, whatever it is that you don't really use, but you're just keeping because you bought it, sell it. If you have any video games or anything like that that you may want to sell because, hey, you haven't played it in a while, sell it. It could be an old PlayStation or whatever. You can get 25, 50 bucks for it. It doesn't matter. This is your way to have access to your first $100 to $250. Third, I'm going to tell you to do a one-time hustle and just try it out. Let's try DoorDashing or Uber Eats on a Friday night. Try asking your kids or some of your coworkers if you could babysit their kids or your cousins for one night. Go ahead and find some cheap items. Maybe you go to a local thrift store or a Goodwill and you find something that may be $10, $15, $20. Put it up on Facebook Marketplace and see how much you can get for it. You would be surprised at the amount of money that people make from just going to the local thrift shops, seeing different things that they may find useful or other people may find useful, buying it and then selling it a week or two later. Now remember, the goal is not to get rich here. The goal is to build momentum. It's about the mindset. So if you see that doing these 4 or 5 things can get you $100, you're willing to do it again. And you can believe that you can do it again because you've actually done it. And this is where the momentum starts and how the habits form and where wealth starts to grow. You're trying to get from zero to your first $1,000 here. Now we have step 3, and that's building your safety net. Before you even think about touching the stock market, you should protect yourself first. And by protecting yourself, I mean setting aside an emergency fund. In this case, I'm thinking at least $250 to $500. When you have this emergency fund in place, think of it like a psychological armor. You can't truly consistently invest if you're steady worried about the day-to-day struggles. So when life gets hard and things get tough, you have money put up just in case you need to go ahead and pay for something that's urgent or emergent. I say this to say that once you feel secure and psychologically ready to invest, then therefore the habits start to form because you don't have to worry about something happening and needing to take the money out of your investment account. Now, most importantly, with this emergency fund, I want you to put it in a HYSA, high yield saving account, not under your mattress and not in your check-ins. I know that investments can make more than your savings, but remember, you want to have access to this money in case of an emergency. So having it in a high yield saving account at least gives it more interest than a checking account would. Just remember that this is giving you a peace of mind while you invest. And that's the most important thing about this. Investing should not be stressful. It should actually be fun. But the way you make it fun is by preparing yourself first. Step 4, open your investment account. So now it's time to start building your wealth machine, and we're going to get an investment account started. You can open an account with Vanguard, Fidelity, Robinhood, Charles Schwab, M1 Finance. You pick. But you open an account, and what you want to open up is your Roth IRA. Now, if you're under the income limit, you're able to invest into your Roth IRA. If you're under 50, $7,000 a year, and if you're over 50, $8,000 a year. And this is all tax-free growth. The reason why it's tax-free growth is because you're taking money that has already been taxed and placing it into a Roth IRA. This is one of the greatest wealth building tools that most people seem to go ahead and set to the side or not take advantage of. Now, if you make more than the income limit, then you just open a regular brokerage account. Now, what do we invest in? Guys, we want to keep it simple, okay? You can start off by investing in index funds or exchange traded funds, okay? Things like BOO. This mimics the S&P 500, and this is 500 of the largest U.S. companies. You also have funds like BTI. This is the broadest fund there is, holding more than 4,000 US-based companies. So this is something like a total market index. Also, you can go with VUG. This is the growth companies, okay? So you're having access to tons of different companies all at once with these funds. Now you can also invest in some dividend stocks as well. Some of these companies could be Coca-Cola, Procter & Gamble, McDonald's, Nike, Johnson & Johnson. There are tons of options that will go ahead and pay you just to hold the companies. That's literally what a dividend investing company is. They pay out more than half of their earnings to their shareholders. In return, you can automatically reinvest this money, aka drip, and go ahead and make sure that you keep continuing to make more and more dividend income. Now, most importantly, I need you all to remember, never chase hype stocks. If you're hearing about it, especially as a new investor, 9 times out of 10, it's a little bit too late for you. You don't want to focus on timing the market. Remember, there's nothing better than time in the market, okay? With this being said, you want to consistently invest your money, create habits, and it doesn't matter if it's $25, $50, or $100, that money will grow, and the quicker you start, the more you will have over the long term. Now, of course, there are companies that are winning, and you want to make sure you do your research and find these companies that are winning and go ahead and buy slices of them. And eventually, these small slices turn into a whole pie, aka a share. Step 5, automate and stack your small wins. Now that your account is open, we're not just doing one-time investing. We're building a habit. Wealth is built through repetition. And it's not just our vibes. You need to set up automatic weekly investments. You can start with 10 to 25 bucks. That's the price of some fast food. You want to make sure that your dividend reinvesting, aka drip, is turned on. Don't track the investments daily. Track it monthly. So what you want to teach your brain is every Friday I invest, or every Monday I invest. Over time, that muscle builds, and that is literally a habit being formed. Every Friday, you're investing, or every Monday, you're investing. Every month, you're tracking your money habits, your investing habits. So now, step 6, leveling up your income. So now you have your habit in place, but it's time to feed that habit. You want to grow your portfolio as fast as possible. And one of the fastest cheat codes to do that is by bringing in more income. So clearly one of the easiest ways is to go ahead and work more hours or ask for a raise at work. Try it out. You never know what type of results you'll get from it. Secondly, you want to try to offer some services. Maybe you're reselling, maybe you're cleaning, maybe you're offering tutorials on something specific that it is that you know. But offer a service and you'd be surprised who needs your help doing something. Over time, you're also refining your skills and learning new skills as you're offering these services. And lastly, you want to turn these skills into more cash. Maybe it's Canva, maybe you're writing or you're editing. Just being reliable for people is the main thing here, knowing that they can count on you to provide these services. You don't have to become a millionaire overnight, but any extra money that is made, even if it's $100 a month, if you're putting that towards your investments, then that's over $1,200 a year that is put to work working for you, not including what you're already contributing each week towards your investments. I'm telling you, over time, this money starts to add up, and that's where compound interest takes place. So let's recap. You just learned how to go from $0 to $1,000 invested. And to be honest, most people never even take this step, but you just did. In part 2 next week, we're going to talk about going from 1,000 to 10,000. And that's where things really start compounding and growing. So if you're serious about building wealth, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss more videos like these. And drop a comment below. Let me know if you started at $0, $100, or even 1,000 or more. Doing this lets us know where we're at and how we can start growing together. Until next time, I'm your host Marcus, and you're here at Zero to Wealth. Peace.